and advertisers.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us on a Monday. We appreciate you guys being here. Really American Network. Of course, the AM FM dial KSHP. My personal YouTube page, which is at PTL Radio Show. The website, which is pushingthelimits.live. We appreciate everybody being here. Man, I hope everybody had a good weekend. My weekend was pretty relaxed, pretty laid back. I try to decompress a little bit, but of course I follow the news every day. And yeah, we got a lot to talk about today. This whole Sydney Sweeney thing seems to me to be some sort of manufactured scandal by the right, because I haven't heard one prominent Democrat talk about it, really. Melania Trump is taking, I guess, from what I understand, taking some resumes for some people that might help with the White House Christmas decorations. So I'm sure she really cares about that. We'll be talking about that. Greg Abbott blaming Democrats for everything again. Big surprise there. And what did Donald Trump say over the weekend that was crazier than what he said the day before? We have some of that. And to go over the craziness of what has taken place in the world of politics over the last couple of days, what better person to do that than, of course, Ron Filipkowski from Midas Touch, one of the hardest working guys in the business. Ron, it's good to see you, my friend. Hope you had a good weekend. How are you?
Good. That's facts. That's one of our unofficial mottos at Midas is we cover the crazy.
Yeah, you guys do a pretty good job of that. That's for sure.
Won't cover the crazy. We cover the crazy.
Yes, and I appreciate you guys for doing that. All right, let me start with maybe the craziest thing that Trump said over the weekend. Maybe there's quite a few things. 1,500% cheaper now are drugs in the United States of America. This was a pretty crazy thing to say. He says a lot of crazy things. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, that's the second time he said it. The obvious follow-up question when he just makes up these crazy numbers for a member of the media is just say, can you tell us what drugs have you lowered the price of? He really has no plan to do this. I know he's talked about exercising the most favored nation trade clause for imported drugs. He posted on True Social, a demand that all drug companies lower their prices. He didn't say what would happen if they don't. Yeah, I mean, he did this in his first term. In his first term, he promised to lower the price of insulin. He promised to lower the price of many drugs and did nothing. So, here we go again. But yeah, I mean, making these crazy statements like he didn't say we are going to lower drug prices by 1,500%. He said he's already done it.
Right.
So it's like not only are drugs free, they're paying you to take drugs. So that might actually cause like a lot of people to get on prescription meds if their government's actually going to pay you, or the pharmaceutical companies are going to pay you to take them.
Ron, are there people that stupid in this country that believe what he says? Like, do they believe him?
I find myself saying that like so much more than I used to. I used to say that a lot. Like, well, because I used to have faith that they weren't. Like for many years, I just said, I just can't believe that, a majority of the American people are going to believe whatever it was that he was saying at a particular time. For years, I said that over and over again. Like I got validated on that in the 2020 election. Right. It's like, no, the answer to that is no. Most Americans don't believe his bullshit. But then, we have the 2024 election, and now you question that because you're like, man, I still fall back on the fact that, the Biden administration made a lot of mistakes, campaign made a lot of mistakes, and that cost them the election. And there were other factors at play too. So I still don't believe that, like, even in the 2024 election, a majority of Americans agreed with everything that Trump was saying and proposing. It's just that they had a lot of them just held their nose and voted for him because they didn't want to vote for Harris, or they wanted the border secured, or they wanted deportations. I mean, there was or they wanted no tax on tips. The problem that you're having is if there aren't any tips and there aren't any people in Las Vegas, paying no tax on them, you're paying no tax on nothing.
Yeah. Tourism way down,
way down in Maine. It's down here in
down
Maine,
everywhere, especially on the Las Vegas Strip, Ron. I've been
getting killed.
Yeah, I've been here for about 23 years, and I can tell you this is really, really bad. One of the worst times for us. Local casinos are doing okay, but that's locals here. But tourism is so down.
Like downtown,
This city thrives on tourism. So you're absolutely right. I mean, the numbers are just terrible. I want to talk to you a little bit about Greg Abbott. I'm not a big fan, as I'm sure you're not either. But now over the weekend, he starts to blame Democrats for flood relief, which I find to be comical. And I know you talked a little bit about this on social media. I mean, how crazy is this? He's blaming Democrats for his shortcomings.
Yeah, so I mean, he calls a special session to pass a bunch of funding for the Texas flood relief, which of course nobody's going to be against that, right? That would probably pass like unanimously as long as it was done fairly. But then what he decides to do, of course, is attach this Trump gerrymander idea to eliminate 5 seats. And just to show you how bad it is, I mean, they're specifically targeting young stars of the Democratic Party who are minorities. I mean, like, if you look at their new map, Greg Kazar, who's like one of the rising stars of the Democratic Party, young guy, Hispanic, they merged his seat into Lloyd Doggett's district, who's like been there in Congress forever. So they put their two districts together. They would actually have to run against each other. Jasmine Crockett, they redrew her district. She doesn't even live in it anymore with the new map. So they're targeting like Black and Hispanic young Democrats because they know that that's, the future of the party, of the Democratic Party, certainly in Texas, where whites are now a minority. So for him to sort of take that poison pill and attach it to flood relief is so disgusting and so cynical. And then after Democrats flew out of the state to deny them a quorum, he actually has the gall to go on Fox and say that Democrats are hurting these flood victims. It's Greg Abbott that hurt the flood victims by putting the gerrymander with this special session. If you really want to help flood victims, call a special session to help flood victims. Don't add this to it.
Which he won't do, by the way. That's a really good point. Ron Filipkowski from Midas Touch joining us right now on the show. Sharing some of the other news over the weekend. I don't know. I mean, I don't even really care too much about this. Well, I don't live in South Carolina, but you said this, I think, on the show that you thought she was going to run for governor, and now she's running for governor of South Carolina, Nancy Mace. What do you make of this?
I mean, for entertainment value, it could be good. It could be fun. It's kind of like a two-edged sword. People have asked, like, does this mean she's giving up her House seat? No. I mean, how this generally works is they stay in the primary. And if it looks like they're going to win, if they're ahead in the polls, if they stay into the end and they get the nomination, then yes, they give up their House seat. But they're not going to give that up until they're sure that they're going to win the primary. She has a legit shot. But the reason why I say there's a lot of entertainment value is just besides the fact that she's crazy, and constantly likes to draw attention to herself, is that, probably the front runner that she's running against is the attorney general of the state, who she's been at war with for like the last. She gave a speech on the floor of the House saying that that she was a victim of sex assault, and like he dropped the charges against the person who raped her. I mean, she's made all kinds of wild, crazy accusations about this attorney general. And now she's running against them, and they're going to be like debating. So that's number one. And number two is she's now announced all these town halls, which are starting tomorrow. Wednesday is her first town hall. She's going to have like 20 town halls open to the public. Now, Mace has not had a town hall in a couple of years because she's been one of these ones that's hiding from her constituents. In the last town hall she had, she accused someone of like heckling her, harassing her, and she canceled all her other town halls. So it's going to be interesting. Somebody who's been basically hiding from her constituents is now, and who is just hated by so many people, is now going to be out doing town halls all over the state. So it should be very interesting. So she's going to be doing town halls where probably a lot of people are going to show up who hate her. And also she's going to be trashing the attorney general of the state, saying he's like covered up a rape case against her.
Unbelievable. I hope all the transgenders come out for that. I know she will love that. Ron, I have to ask you about this whole Sydney Sweeney thing, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit later on the show, because it seems to me anyway that this is a manufactured scandal from the right. I haven't seen any, and you can tell me if you have any prominent Democrats that have called Sweeney out or really even taken any time talking about this. I mean, it seems like this is the Bud Light thing all over again, only this is even more pathetic. What do you make of this?
It's really even more pathetic. I mean, the Bud Light thing is a little different because, that was just, they just paid the transgender person to do an Instagram ad. That was it for like $5,000. And they just turned that into a whole thing. But in this case, there were like, so in that case, it was them complaining about an ad. In this case, they're claiming that Democrats are complaining about an ad. But I've covered MAGA for many years, and I monitor all of their people, all their influencers every single day. And I watch this happen in real time. And I've seen this playbook so many times before. Like literally, I've seen this 200 times, except that this one sort of took off a little bigger, maybe because, look, a lot of times they're just looking for an excuse to post a scantily clad hot blonde, and they're just, because they know that's good for clicks with MAGA. So a lot of times they're just looking for any excuse to put that out there. But I watched this happen. Here's what happened. The ad comes out, and then a bunch of the right-wing influencers said, oh, the libs, this is what they said. Oh, the libs are not going to like this. They're going to hate this. An attractive, blonde-haired, blue-eyed model. When's the last time any jean company used? It's been years since because they have this thing in their head that like only like plus size minority women are used in ads anymore. Like they don't use white women. So this is their belief. That's not true, but that's what they believe. So when Sydney Sweeney comes out and does that ad, they're like, oh, the libs aren't going to like this. Meanwhile, the libs said nothing. I mean, there was virtually like no reaction. I Google searched it. I found like one writer for like some small, it was Salon or one of those small publications, who like had an issue with in the ad. It said good genes, GEGENES. And so they were like, oh, that's like a Nazi dog whistle or whatever. I don't know. It's kind of like taking it a little too far, but that was basically it. Like a handful of like random people on the internet, probably half bots, were doing a little bit of grumbling, but no members of the media who are Democrats, no elected officials, no prominent Democratic influencers anywhere that I could find criticizing this. Meanwhile, they just kept building it and building it. The libs are outraged. The libs are they hate white women. They hate attractive women. And I'm just like watching this play out day after day. And then of course once Fox picks up on it, and of course Fox again, they just look for that's the Fox playbook is you have an attractive blonde model and you have an excuse to put her on TV. They're going to run that. They're going to run that 24/7 because that's good ratings. Their audience is mostly old white guys who that's what they want to see. So I just watched. It was just so fake. And so I kept challenging them. I'm like, I put it out there because so many of them follow me. I said, name me one prominent Democrat, just one elected official anywhere who has complained about this ad, and I'll shut up. Crickets,
Nothing. Yeah, as I said, and I agree with you. Yeah, it's a manufactured scandal from the right. Now, I'd be reminiscing if I didn't bring up Melania Trump a little bit here. So the White House is putting out. I saw this on X, and you put it out on your Twitter page as well. That they're looking for people to help decorate the White House for Christmas, even after with a picture of Melania Trump. Even after we had that audio, Melania Trump saying, "Who gives a blank about Christmas?" Even though she does sell her ornaments, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, for like $99 around the Christmas season, which maybe are worth $1. I don't know. But what do you make of this? And again, they're trying to align Melania Trump with White House decorations. But Melania Trump doesn't even live in the White House anymore.
She's never there. I mean, She doesn't live there, certainly. She lives in New York. I mean, and she because that's where Barron goes to school, and she wants to be close to Barron. she'd certainly much rather be near him than her husband. So yeah, I mean, obviously everybody knows she hates Christmas. She hates the holidays. She's not a festive person. But it's traditionally the role of the first lady to decorate the White House. Not personally, but like lead, decide on the decor, the color scheme, all of that, put a team together to do it. And as we know from the tapes that were revealed from her personal assistant, I'm drawing a blank on her name right now. I forgot her name. Stephanie Winston Wolkoff, I think, was Melania's personal assistant.
Stephanie Grisham.
Oh, it's Grisham. Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
One of the two. Yeah.
Yep.
Grisham was, yeah. So she released the tape of Melania saying, F Christmas. I hate this. I hate doing this shit every year, where she just like was bitching about having to do this. So yeah, I thought it was funny that here she is back for her first year back in the White House. And she just put out an ad for volunteers to come in and decorate. Maybe what her plan is basically to have a bunch of volunteers come in and do it for her. So she doesn't even have to, she can just show up when it's all done and take the credit.
Just insane. Ron, I have to ask you this. I know at times you text back and forth at times with Laura Loomer. She's been back in the news once again because I guess now she's claiming that she is the reason why Donald Trump fired the head of the labor and statistics. Can you shed any light on this? Because Trump was talking about Laura Loomer over the weekend. He was asked about her. What do you make of this? And do you still believe that Laura Loomer is in Donald Trump's ear and Trump literally still does make decisions in this case, maybe even firing somebody because of the information that she gives him?
Yeah, I actually talked to Laura yesterday. Yeah, yesterday or the day before about this. Yeah. So yeah, that's all true. She absolutely, and Trump was asked about it yesterday. Mm-hmm. Is Laura Loomer advising you? And he said yes. I mean, this is not a secret. I mean, this is like something that like I think the media is all like, this is all going on in the hush hush behind the scenes. No, I mean that they're not hiding this. She has a website now that she just created, which is what does she call it? Her vetting target list or something, where she's taking like anybody can contact her and say, hey, I know of a Democrat in the government or someone who donated to Joe Biden or Hillary Clinton. You need to tell Trump about this person. So that is basically what she's doing. I talked to her because I noticed that one person she was looking at had a relative who is a big Democrat, a well-known Democrat, and they work in the Defense Department. And I just contacted Laura to just say, look, just because this person is related to a big Democrat doesn't mean that person is a Democrat. I know for a fact that the person that you're talking about is a Trump supporter. So just because her relative is a big Democrat who you guys all hate, it doesn't mean that two people who are in the same family agree on politics. And I explained to Laura, I said, my mom has a Trump flag in her front yard. So, I mean, like, would you go after her? I mean, like, families disagree about Trump all over America. So you can't automatically assume that because your relative is a big Democrat, you are too.
All right, hold on a second. We got to back up a little bit here. Are you claiming that Mrs. Filipkowski is a huge Trump supporter? Because I did not know that.
Yeah, well, that's not my mom. My mom remarried, so she has a different last name.
Okay,
but yeah, my mom loves Trump. Sure, I mean, lots of my family members do. Probably like 70% of my family members.
You come from a Republican family.
Absolutely, they love Trump. Most, I would say, like 70%. So yeah, I mean, they know obviously what I do.
Yeah,
we just don't really talk very much about politics. Yeah, we whisper like my aunts and stuff that are Democrats who hate Trump will come up to me like at Christmas and whisper politics, but we have to like stay away from some of the other relatives.
Because Ron, I get calls from people every day that say, listen, I don't talk to this person in my family because they're a Trump supporter. I don't, you hear that all the time. Friendships are lost and marriages even. So
what Trump has done to America, no one else did that before. Yeah.
Right. That's really sad. Hey, Ron, before I let you go, talk to me about your Substack. What article are you working on today that people could look forward to reading?
Texas, for the most part, that's the big story of the day. It's weird because like it seems like every day of the Trump, I'm becoming like an expert in so many subjects because like I spend so much time on like Ukraine and Eastern Europe and nuclear weapons and Israel and Gaza and then I had to do a deep dive into the Bureau of Labor Statistics and how all of that works and the revisions, So it's like every day I spend like hours and hours reading from all these articles from experts in these different topics because hey, I owe Trump, right? And this is like an education that he's given me. So today I'm learning all about the Texas Constitution, and all how it works and what Abbott can do and how he can punish the legislators who fled the state. And so I'm learning all about the Texas Constitution today. And that's
Good.
leading off my article. Yeah.
Look forward to reading it. Ron, one of the hardest working people in the business from Midas Touch. Always appreciate it, my friend. And look forward to talking to you next week. Have a good one. And I appreciate your time as always, man.
Okay, man. See you later.
All right. Thanks, Ron. Ron Filipkowski, everybody. Always love our weekly visit with him. He is one of the best in the business. And I love his breakdown of, some of the biggest news of the weekend. He does such a great job of it. I do want to go to the YouTube super chat before we take a break. The other disgusted veteran says, a black man gets his neck knelt until he's unloved. The GOP decries victimization, then act like victims when they get what they voted for. They have socialism, but cry for it. It's silly. Well, I completely agree with you on that one. 150%. And by the way, we appreciate your support. Your questions and comments can be heard in the YouTube super chat as we show them on the screen. You could also go to my website, which is pushingthelimits.live. So we have a lot to get to when we come back. And I can tell you, we are going to start when we come back talking about Texas and Greg Abbott literally blaming Democrats when he's the one responsible for relief when it comes to flood relief. Also going to play a little bit of this whole Sydney Sweeney manufactured scandal. We have some Laura Loomer news for you as well. And Elizabeth Warren just wiping the floor clean with Republicans over the weekend. We'll explain to you what that is all about. We have the audio and, of course, your phone calls. So we have a lot to get to when we come back. You're not going to believe, or maybe you will, what Donald Trump said about pharmaceuticals and the drugs that you are picking up. And I would imagine some of you are spending way too much money for those drugs. You're not going to believe what Trump said over the weekend about that. We have all that for you when we come back. We'll be taking your phone calls when we come back. We're going to take a quick 90-second break, and we'll be back right after this. You're listening to Pushing the Limits right here on KSHP.
Commercial, how to interview, how to market, how to write a contract, and most importantly, how to monetize your dream radio show. You'll learn from some of the best in the business with over 75 years in broadcast experience. You'll learn from people like me. And the best part, every single student will be live on the radio as part of the class. Plus, one student from each class will get their very own radio show. You'll be live on the air right here in Las Vegas. Radio U. The 5-day course is being offered at $699. For more information, give Radio U a call. 702-763-5024. That's 702-763-5024. Or check them out at radioyou101.com.
All right, welcome back. It is Pushing the Limits on a Monday. Thank you so much for joining us. Also, the website, pushingthelimits.live. Your questions and comments could be heard in the YouTube Super Chat. As Reaver just said, Trump, the administration claiming the jobs report numbers are rigged, yet they haven't put out the real numbers showing Trump's policies having a positive effect. Well, Reaver, I'm glad you mentioned that because we're going to talk about that here in just a few minutes. So quick programming note for you. Couple guests on the opposite end of the spectrum are going to be joining us tomorrow. So remember we were talking about that Jubilee debate with Mehdi Hassan and how there were some, arguably some white supremacists and at least one well-known fascist. Well, one of the people in that Jubilee debate that is getting a lot of criticism, and allegedly he's helped organize some Proud Boy marches, some which became violent, is agreed to come on the show tomorrow. He was a little hesitant to. His name is Richie Black. He is going to be joining us on the show tomorrow. He knows what I'm all about. He knows I'm anti-Proud Boy. He knows I'm anti-Donald Trump. He's agreed to come on the show tomorrow, so I think it's going to be quite a debate. So Richie Black from that crazy Jubilee debate with Mehdi Hassan is going to be joining us on the show tomorrow. Also, former presidential candidate, now Democrat, my friend Joe Walsh is going to be joining us on the show tomorrow as well. So we're certainly looking forward to that. Two interesting guests, two opposite ends of the spectrum. So that will be a lot of fun. I want to talk about this Sydney Sweeney manufactured scandal for a moment before I play some audio. And I will be taking some calls about this. I think it's nonsense. Listen, the whole Bud Light thing was a joke. Yeah, what's his name? Her name, his name, whatever word you want to use, Mulvaney, in some of those Bud Light commercials. And because you have so many snowflakes on the far right, they were so upset at that, they wouldn't drink Bud Light. And now we have another, what I would call, manufactured scandal. I'm listening to Clay Travis, who's despicable. I've been on a panel with him on the Piers Morgan show. I think he's just absolutely despicable. Clay Travis, the guy has zero credibility. And that's what they're talking about today. They're not talking about the fact that these job numbers are atrocious and we're headed towards a recession. They're not talking about how we entered a war with Iran or how the war in Ukraine is still going on. They're not talking about any of the important issues that most Americans actually care about. No, they're talking about Sydney Sweeney, some idiot who, some model who I could care less about, who's doing these jeans commercials, and they're claiming that everybody on the left is attacking her. I mean, again, it's a manufactured scandal because they don't want to talk about the real stories, which is Donald Trump is in the Epstein files, and you support an adjudicated rapist and a pedophile, or the fact that the economy is in shambles. The jobs report was the worst we've had in 5 years. Prices are not going down, they're going up, and people are losing their jobs and they're struggling. But you see, MAGA Republicans don't want to talk about the real, as they would call, kitchen table issues. They want to talk about Sydney Sweeney. They want to attack the trans community. They want to sound like you can drop your kid off at school and he comes home another gender. They don't want to talk about the real issues. Now, if you're going to say to yourself, Brian, you're wrong, they are talking about the real issues. Okay, if you like what Donald Trump is doing when it comes to immigration, then do you like everything he's doing? Do you like the fact that ICE agents are not identifying themselves around the country and sending them to El Salvador prisons and alligator Alcatraz? Do you like the fact that people are not getting due process and people are getting ripped away from their families? Because when you say you like what he's doing with immigration, 4% of the population gone, you don't think that's going to hurt the economy? I guarantee you it is, it will, and it will continue. We are headed towards a recession. These tariffs have always been a bad idea, at least the types of tariffs that Donald Trump is doing. Japan has not given us billions and billions of dollars like Donald Trump would like to lead you to believe. They haven't made 90 deals in 90 days. And I guarantee you unemployment in the next report is going to continue to rise. Businesses are shut down. Vegas is really struggling. It has hit my hometown hard. and it is not going to get better. But MAGA Republicans want to talk about Sydney Sweeney, just like MAGA Republicans wanted to talk about Bud Light. How many times do I have to say this? MAGA Republicans don't care about you. They don't care about middle America. They don't care about the middle class. They certainly don't care about people that are struggling, living paycheck to paycheck. They want to tell women what to do with their bodies. They want to give the biggest tax breaks to the top 1%, which they have already, implementing in this big and beautiful bill, as they call it. Everything is rigged. If the jobs report comes out and it holds Republicans and Donald Trump accountable, it's rigged. If Donald Trump loses an election, it's rigged. If Greg Abbott fails his people in Texas during these floods, it's rigged. It's always rigged if it doesn't work the MAGA Republican way. They'll either blame Democrats, say it's rigged, or call it fake news. Well, guess what? We are not in fake news right now. The reality of the situation is it's the worst jobs report since December of 2020. Oh, guess when that was? The last month of Donald Trump's administration. And right now, you can't use COVID as an excuse. The country is suffering. American consumers are paying more for products that they did not pay for under the Biden administration. The government is bragging about it in Trump's administration about the billions of dollars they're receiving because of the American consumer that's paying for it. Inflation is not dropping down. It's headed in the opposite direction. The unemployment rate will continue to rise. Mark my words. People are struggling. And while all this is going on, there's going to be 17 million people that are going to lose their Medicaid. Billions and billions and billions of dollars taken off of food assistance. This country is in a lot of trouble, and I'm not sitting here gaslighting. I'm not trying to scare you. You should already be concerned and scared. And many of this due to the policies of Donald Trump and his administration. And don't even get me started with the FAA. They blame it on DEI hires. They blame it on migrants. They blame it on brown people. They blame it on liberals. They blame it on Democrats. They blame it on Barack Obama. They blame it on Joe Biden. They blame it on Pete Buttigieg. They blame it on George Soros. But they never take accountability for anything that happens. And it's despicable. And a perfect example of that is the governor of Texas, as I like to call him, Governor Abhole. You know, the Texas governor is threatening to arrest Texas Democrats for refusing to participate in a special session that he has called to virtually eliminate representation in Congress for 8 million Texas Democrats, which is obviously insane. And now, to make matters even worse, Greg Abbott is now blaming Democrats for not passing flood relief when he is the one responsible. Have a listen to this.
The second thing is far more serious, and that is what these Democrats have done. Just a small fraction of them were needed to break a quorum, and that small fraction is holding hostage legislation in the state of Texas where we will be able to provide assistance and reform for all of the victims of that horrific flooding that we've had in the state of Texas. Our fellow Texans are being let down and not getting the flood relief they need because these Democrats have absconded from the responsibility, and I believe they have forfeited their seats in the state legislature because they're not doing the job they were elected to do.
Okay, so Greg Abbott is lying. If he just took a moment to drop all the partisan politics, I guarantee you, with a postage stamp, 100%, that Democrats would be happy to vote for flood relief. There's one side of the party that wants to keep FEMA up and running. There's one side of the political spectrum that wants to give more, and it's not Republicans, ladies and gentlemen. So Greg Abbott is lying, and this is what they always do. They have another mass shooting where an 18-year-old is allowed to purchase a bunch of AR-15s and thousands of rounds of ammunition, who is clearly mentally unstable. MAGA Republicans will either say, bad guy's going to get his hand on a gun, nothing we can do about it, or say more guns make us safer, or they'll say now's not the time to talk about politics. And when so many people in the state of Texas, which Governor Greg Abbott resides over as the governor, are not getting the flood relief that they need desperately, what does Greg Abbott do? He blames it on Democrats not willing to sit at the bargaining table. It could not be further from the truth, and Greg Abbott is a disgusting and pathetic liar. And I got to tell you, Pritzker, not made some funny comments about Texas Republicans. I'm a fan of Pritzker. I think he does a good job. He's an outspoken guy, very intelligent. But I like the cheap shot that he gave to Ken Paxton. Now, if you don't know who Ken Paxton is, the attorney general out there, his wife just filed for divorce. Clearly, Paxton has cheated on his wife, perhaps multiple times. The wholesome Christian usually does that, right? Everybody that preaches God and Christianity on the evangelical right are usually the people that cheat on their wives every day. I like this poking the bear that Pritzker did in this little jab press conference. Have a listen to this.
They are attempting to cheat. And, I think we all know Donald Trump is a cheater. Yeah. So is the Attorney General of Texas, Ken Paxton, in so many ways.
I like that. That's a cheap shot. I like it, though, because I think Paxton is a cheater. And, yes, Republicans are cheaters as well. Maybe they'll blame it on transgenders. I don't know. But that was a funny comment. Paxton is a cheater in more ways than one. I completely agree with him on that one. That was very, very funny. Speaking of funny, speaking of ridiculous, I know this might shock some of you, but yes, Donald Trump is lying, is exaggerating. In this case, the cost of prescription drugs. Now, let me start from experience and tell you something. Joe Biden, while Donald Trump is the guy that started in his first administration capping insulin costs, many under their health care plans, Plan B and Plan D, could not get access to capped insulin costs. What Joe Biden did, and I'm giving people a history of this because when you talk to MAGA Republicans, they'll say, it was Donald Trump who started capping insulin. Because of what Joe Biden did, millions of more Americans had access to getting their insulin capped at $35 because he helped pass some bills where Plan B and Plan D was covered under your health insurance where you didn't have to pay more than $35. Then Donald Trump signed an executive order day one in office going back to what he signed on to, where millions of Americans do not get access to insulin capped at $35. So that's how these MAGA Republicans will lie to you. They'll make you sound like, well, Donald Trump is the guy who started it, when it was actually Joe Biden who gave you access to millions of more people access to insulin capped. And now Donald Trump has the gall to lie to all of us and tell us that because of what he's doing, he's cut drug prices up to 1,500%. I want you to listen to this clip. This is very, very important because there are probably some in his base that are so stupid that they actually believe that the man who just fired the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics, because their numbers he claims weren't accurate, has now claimed that he's lowered drug prices in America by 1,500%. Listen to this.
Mr. President, what advice do you have for Republicans on Capitol Hill heading into midterms? What do they need to do? What can they do to, hold?
Well, one of the things they're going to be talking about pretty soon are the tremendous drop in drug prices. We've cut drug prices by 1,200, 1,300, 1,400, 1,500%. I don't mean 50%. I mean 1,400, 1,500%. Because we're going favored nations. We want the same price as Europe gets. We want the same price as other country gets. And over the years, 25, 30 years ago, it started where they were charging us much more. And I put an end to it, with a letter that you saw last week. So I think that's going to be a point. I don't know how anybody could win an election if they're on the other side of that issue. So we'll be dropping drug prices. It'll start over the next 2 to 3 months by 1,200, 1,300, and even 1,400% and 500%, but not just 50% or 25%, which normally would be a lot, because the rest of the world pays much less for the identical drug, and we're going to be paying the same thing. We're going to have a favored nations. We will pay as low as the lowest nation in the world.
I have a question for any of you. I'm sure some of you had to pick up some prescription drugs over the course of the last few months. Are you paying 1,500% less? Could we get some answers there on the chat? Is anybody paying 1,500% less? I guess that would mean the drug manufacturers need to be paying us. Anybody out there? Hello? Crickets? This, and he also repeatedly claims that gas is $1.95. I was paying like $3.87 a gallon over the weekend. He claims that gas has gone down to $1.95. But, let's just break this down, ladies and gentlemen. It just goes to show you how stupid Trump thinks some of his American supporters are, or supporters in general. Maybe they are. I don't know. I mean, this guy did get elected a couple times, so maybe they are this stupid. I don't know. Who could blame him for arriving at that conclusion? He actually thinks that his supporters actually believe that he's lowered the cost of prescription drugs as high as 1,500%. And that gas around the country is down to $1.95. I mean, it really is unbelievable that people actually still believe anything that this guy says. It is absurd. And this is the point where Donald Trump is asked about his relationship with Laura Loomer. It was alleged by those who are close to Laura Loomer that she claimed that they were having sexual relations in Air Force One. I have no idea if that's true or not, nor do I really care. I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe Laura Loomer's about 40 years too old for him. I don't know. But Donald Trump was asked, what type of influence does Laura Loomer have in the White House? Because we are getting reports that the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics was fired. One of the main reasons was because of Laura Loomer. And I want you to listen to this audio, ladies and gentlemen, because it's proof that the president is affirming that he takes the advice and sometimes fires employees from a conspiracy theorist with absolutely no qualifications at all. Have a listen to this.
Mr. President, what is your relationship with Laura Loomer? What kind of influence with Laura Loomer? What kind of influence does she have in the White House? I think she's very nice. I mean, I know she's known as a radical right, but I think Laura Loomer is a very nice person. I've known her for a long time. And, personally, I think she's a patriot. And she gets excited because of the fact that she's a patriot. And she doesn't like things going on that she thinks are bad for the country. I like her.
Yeah, he would like someone who's a self-described Islamophobe. He would like somebody that says 9/11 was an inside job. He would like somebody that is a complete conspiracy theorist and a blatant racist, because those are the types of people that Donald Trump hangs out with. People that look like Mickey Rourke on a bad day. That would be Laura Loomer, because she's had more plastic surgery than Mickey Rourke. And somebody that is a blatant conspiracy theorist and a bigot. Those are the types of people who Donald Trump gives credibility to. Not only credibility, but actually fires people because of what they tell him. Apparently, that's what Laura Loomer is doing. Absolutely and positively insane. Yes, that's what I call Laura Loomer, Mickey Rourke on a bad day. By the way, I like Mickey Rourke. The Wrestler is one of my favorite movies of all time. Is there anybody out there that is still listening to Mark Levin? I mean, I'm just throwing that out there. Mark Levin might be one of the most pathetic and disgusting right-wing talk shows, and there's plenty of them, by the way. Sean Hannity, Clay Travis. There's plenty of idiots on the right that do radio shows. There's some in this town, too, that have like 5 listeners. I won't mention their names because it's not worth it. But Mark Levin, at one time, was obsessed with the Epstein files. Mark Levin, at one time, did entire shows about Jeffrey Epstein and all the Democrats are in the Epstein files. Let me be very clear about Mark Levin. Benjamin Netanyahu today could bomb the United States, and I believe Mark Levin would still defend the Israeli government. Mark Levin is a complete imbecile, and he has absolutely no credibility at all. He's an idiot. Are you a liberal? Sounds like a chipmunk. Are you a liberal? I'm a constitutionalist. Are you a liberal? Today we're going to interview Don Jr. It's going to be a revelation. It's going to be, what an interview. See, I only interview people that agree with me, that have zero credibility. Hi, I'm Mark Levin. Please watch my Fox News show on Sunday night. I promise you, I look as bad as I sound. I'm Mark Levin. I'm a constitutionalist. Is there anybody that still listens to this idiot? And Mark Levin is now saying that everybody out there that brings up the Epstein files is obsessed. But he's also saying that it's a distraction, because what we really should be talking about is the Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, Obamagate stuff. Folks, I am not making this up. Have a listen.
And for those of you who are obsessed with the Epstein case, you are the ones who are distracting us from the Obama-Hillary case. I don't know what your end game is with the Epstein case, but I know what my end game is here. That is justice. And that is a course correction for our country.
Mark Levin doesn't want you talking about the Epstein files. He wants you talking about Obamagate. Now, let's keep in mind and review what Donald Trump has done in the last 6 months, the damage he has done to this country and some of the scandals. I mean, we could mention Signalgate, where nobody was held accountable to that. Who knows if Pete Hegseth will stay in his position for the next 3.5 years. His name is clearly all over the Epstein files, we've learned. He is literally stripping millions of people from their health care coverage that they absolutely and desperately need. And he's also taken bribes from his crypto brothers, billions of dollars his family is making from this crypto Ponzi scheme, as I would like to call it. He's gutted food and water safety. He's literally built concentration camps, Alligator Alcatraz, for example. ICE is literally kidnapping people. That is what they are doing. Make no mistake about it. And he's deployed the military domestically. The war in Ukraine is still going on. He said it would be over in 24 hours. It's worse off now than it was on day one. He's coddled Vladimir Putin. He got us involved in a war between Iran and Israel. And the jobs report that came out was abysmal, the worst in 5 years. But Mark Levin doesn't want you talking about any of that stuff. What does Mark Levin want you talking about? Obamagate. Lock Hillary Clinton up. That's how much credibility Mark Levin has. He's never had any. So Donald Trump has asked, why did you fire the Bureau of Labor Statistics? Because it is interesting that when those job numbers came out and it was a positive for Donald Trump, he wasn't attacking the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics. But as soon as a report comes out that's a terrible report, what does Donald Trump do? Blame the messenger. You're fired. Have a listen to this.
Why did you fire the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics? Because I think her numbers were wrong. Just like I thought her numbers were wrong before the election. Days before the election, she came out with these beautiful numbers for Kamala. I guess Biden/Kamala. And she came out with these beautiful numbers trying to get somebody else elected. Then right after the election, I think on the 15th, November 15th, she had an $800,000 or $900,000 massive reduction. Said she made a mistake. That woman's numbers are.
There you go. If anything comes out that is not favorable for Donald Trump, he'll call it rigged. He'll blame Democrats. He'll blame everybody else but himself. And he'll fire somebody. There is zero evidence to conclude that the jobs report and the numbers that came out last week were false or falsified or fake news or whatever else he would call it or rigged. He has zero evidence, once again, just like when he lost the 2020 election and he still says that election was rigged. He has just as much evidence that the 2020 election was rigged as he does that the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics put out rigged numbers. He is a liar. These are his failings. And I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm not trying to scare you, this is just the beginning. We are headed towards a recession. The job growth is going to become worse and worse month to month, partly and mainly because of Donald Trump's own policies. Tariffs, for example, and giving the biggest tax breaks to the top 1%. Now, I'm not a huge Elizabeth Warren fan. I think she's a smart lady. Not a huge fan. But I think she spelled it out best on one of the networks over the weekend. The biggest problem with Republicans today is they have no backbone. Listen to what she had to say.
Because this is like taking value that the United States has literally spent decades and decades and decades building up, and Donald Trump just strikes a match and sets it on fire. He tells the entire world, don't trust data coming out of the United States. Lord, is that
Do you have
expensive.
any expectation there's something you and the Congress can do about it?
Well, this is our problem.
I mean, obviously
all
you're in the
along.
minority party, but...
Well, we have Republicans, in theory, they could just stand up to him, but I say in theory. It's the most spineless bunch of people I've ever seen. Even something that so clearly will hurt their home states, will hurt businesses in their home states, and I don't hear a peep from them saying, back off, we need independent data collection. This woman has served under Democrats and Republicans. Shoot, Marco Rubio, J.D. Vance voted for her when she was confirmed. Very apolitical position. Where are those Republicans
What about the business community? Are you surprised? Now it's early.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Elizabeth Warren spelling it out very, very well. They won't stand up to him. The Republican Party will not stand up to Donald Trump. They will not. So I want to open up the phone lines for you at 702-221-7283. And again, that number to call if you want to be a part of the conversation. 702-221-7283 is the number to call if you'd like to be a part of the conversation. And we're talking about a lot of different topics today. First off, Greg Abbott and MAGA Republicans blaming Democrats for the reason why people in Texas are not getting the flood relief that they deserve. What do you make of Donald Trump saying drug prices have been slashed up to 1,500%? What do you make of the fact that Donald Trump is getting his information from people like Laura Loomer? I mean, what do you make of the fact that once again, Donald Trump is trying to distract you from talking about Jeffrey Epstein and the Epstein files? 702-221-7283 is the number to call. Again, 702-221-7283, the number if you want to be a part of the conversation. Let's start off with Herb. Herb is first up on PTL. Hello, Herb.
Good morning, Brian. So let me tell you this. Last week, I ordered my medications, and I have about four or five medications that I order every 3 months. And I was paying approximately $150 every 3 months for my medications. Last week when I ordered, I paid zero. My bill is,
What health care are you on?
I don't pay.
What's your health care?
Beg pardon?
What's your health care?
Huh?
What health care?
Yeah, but it's the same health care that
Okay,
I've
I'm
had
asking
for
you,
years.
what is it? Can you tell me what it is?
Medicare. I have Medicare.
You don't have
And
Medicaid?
I have, No, I don't have Medicaid. No.
Okay, so you're on Medicare. Which drug were you talking about specifically?
It's a lot of different drugs.
Okay, well, we have to be specific because you're claiming...
Is that
hold on a second. Let's be specific. Let's talk about this, Herb. Then you can get to your point because you're trying to make the case that drug prices are way down in the United States of America. By the way, it's not true. That might be your personal case, but as a whole, that's not true. Tell me what specific drugs went from $150 to zero, and then we can look into it because I want to make sure you're telling the truth. So tell me what's... just tell me. What drugs are you on?
Listen to me. First of all...
I'm listening.
I don't have to tell you which specific
Okay, so
drugs
you're just
I'm
going to
on.
say... You're just going to say it, but don't
Let me put it like this. One of the drugs that I take, one of the drugs...
Yeah, cocaine.
Is Manjura, you know, the diabetic medication. You take once
Insulin? Insulin's a diabetic medication. Type 1. Are you talking type 1 or type 2?
Type 2.
Okay,
type
so
2.
okay, so
it's
you
called
take
Manjuro.
Okay,
Manjuro is called.
Okay, so we'll look that up.
I didn't pay anything. For
okay,
that.
so we'll look
And
that
I
up. So if I looked it
before
up,
I paid-
hold on, Herb. Hang on a second. Just relax for a minute. Majuro. Okay, so here's what we're going to do, Herb, and we'll get this information, and then I'll talk about it on the air tomorrow. You're claiming that in the last 6 months, since Donald Trump took office, diabetic insulin, or in this case, not insulin, Majuro for type 2 diabetics, has gone from a certain price that you were paying to zero. Is that what you're claiming, Herb?
Right. Exactly.
Okay, so if I look that up and if it's wrong, what you are saying, will you admit that you were wrong tomorrow?
How can it be wrong? I'm telling
because
you
you're
what
wrong. Because you're wrong about everything else. That's why, Herb, and I don't believe you.
Oh, Brian.
Yeah. So,
Well,
Herb, let's talk about insulin. Herb, let's talk about
if
insulin. Herb, you're a diabetic, right? You're a type 2. Do I have that correct?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. Okay, so Herb, if you're a type 1 diabetic, and I do understand that some type 2 diabetics do have to take insulin, not all. Some could get away with pills and medication like you, and some have to take insulin. Can we agree with that so far?
Yep.
Okay, good. Okay. Would you agree with me, Herb, that under Joe Biden, millions of more Americans were able to get their insulin capped at $35? Is that a fair statement, Herb?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I
You
don't
don't know. Of course, you don't know. Okay, so Herb, I'm going to give you some information. Okay, you're giving me yours, your personal. I'm giving you in general terms. Donald Trump started capping insulin, but the problem was he wouldn't allow it under Plan B and Plan D of your medical coverage. Joe Biden changed that, and gave millions of more Americans under his presidency access to insulin capped at $35. Day one of Donald Trump's administration this time around, he signed an executive order going back to the days when he was president. What happened because of that, Herb? Millions of people now do not get their insulin capped at $35. So, Herb, let's just say for a moment, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. You call into the show, let's just say good faith, and in your situation, your Mazuro and some of your other medications went from $150 to zero. I think that's great. I'm happy to hear that, Herb. But that's not the case with every diabetic, and that's not the case with every American. Are you able to understand that your personal situation is not necessarily what the majority of Americans are going through today? Herb.
I couldn't say if it was or if it wasn't. I do know that my brother, who was a type 2 diabetic also, longer than I've been, he was taking insulin shots.
Mm-hmm.
And his price of insulin never went down.
Okay, well, Herb, guess what? Guess what? I'm a juvenile diabetic. I'm type 1. I've had it since I was 6 years old. My insulin has not gone down. So, Herb, here's my issue with your argument. And I'm trying to be respectful. Herb, just hang on. Herb, just hang on 1 second. Let me make my point, and then I will allow you to respond.
You want to make it an argument.
Herb, if you can just listen for 20 seconds, and then I will let you respond. My argument is this with many MAGA supporters. They only see life through their lens. For example, you just said that your prices went from $150 to zero. I don't know whether you're telling the truth or not. Let's just say you are. I asked you, Herb, hold on, Herb, let me finish. You just self-admitted that you're not aware and you don't know that millions of more type 1 diabetics and type 2 do not have their insulin capped at $35. Now, I know that's true because I've actually studied this. You claim to me that you are unaware, that you don't know, but yet you just want to call into this show and give your own personal story, not understanding what everybody else is going through. That is my argument, Herb. People like you that support Donald Trump only see life through your lens, and you don't see it through everybody else's lens, and people that are not in the same situation that you're in. So you're unaware that millions of diabetics do not have their insulin capped at $35. You're completely unaware of that. You don't seem to care, but all you care about is Herb's drugs have gone down. That is my argument, Herb. Do you follow me?
Okay, but Brian, didn't you not say when you were talking about that, you wanted somebody to call in or get on the Snapchat and ask and tell you what they were paying for their drugs?
Okay, so first of all, I'm not on Snapchat.
Ask somebody to do that?
First of all, I'm not on Snapchat. That's what 12-year-olds use.
It was,
and well, okay, I know, but Herb, you don't pay attention to details. So did your drugs go down 1,500%?
They went down to zero, Brian.
Okay. Donald Trump is claiming. Donald Trump is. By the way, Donald Trump is claiming that he is. You don't know. You don't know.
I don't know if that's for everybody. I don't know if it's for me. I know. I don't know why, but I know it went down to zero.
I know. The problem, Herb, is
now,
you
one
only.
One more thing. The other thing is that if you pay $3.98 for gas in Las Vegas, that's.
What's the average price of gas in Las Vegas, Herb?
I paid $2.98.
What's the average?
$2.98.
Donald Trump said he brought Herb. Donald Trump said Herb, you're making my point for me. Herb, you're making my point for me. Donald Trump not only said that your prescription drugs were lowered 1,500%, but he also said gas was down to $1.95. Herb, those are both lies. Thank you for making my point for me. Thank you for making my point for me, Herb. Thank you for making my point for me. The average price of gas, by the way, is over $3 a gallon in Las Vegas, in Nevada. Why are you laughing, Herb? Herb, why are you laughing?
Because once again, Brian,
that's not true? Is that not true? Is that not true, Herb? Herb, what's the average price of gas? Herb, what's the average price of gas in Nevada? Herb, what's the average price of gas in Nevada?
All I'm saying is that if you pay $3.98, you're the dummy, nobody else, because I paid $2.98.
That's the average? Okay, so we're looking at it. Hey, Herb, we're looking at it right now. The average price of gas, Herb, I'm looking at it right now. If our producer could give us the source for it, for regular price of gasoline from AAA, the average price of gas in the state of Nevada is $3.79. You have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. You're wasting our time. And guess what? I don't believe you, and I think you're a liar. I don't believe that all of your drug prices went from $150 to zero. I think you're a liar, and I just proved you wrong. I just gave you the average price of gasoline right now, according to AAA, in the state of Nevada, and they are not under $3 a gallon. You are a liar, you are ill-informed, and you have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. You're lying about the cost of your prescription drugs. You don't seem to care that everybody else is paying more, and they're not down 1,500%, and you're lying again and saying, well, I paid $2.98. The average price of gas is close to $4 a gallon in the state of Nevada. You have absolutely no idea what you're talking about, and what I said was accurate, and you are clueless, and I also think you're a liar. I always knew you were a little ignorant, Herb, but I also now believe you're a liar. 702-221-7283 is the number to call if you want to be a part of the conversation. Let's go to Rosanna. Rosanna is next up on PTL. Hi, Rosanna. Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. I'm calling from Massachusetts.
Well, thank you for calling.
I love your show, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You get some nutty people calling. I feel
you know what? Can I just tell you something? There are some people in the chat that are saying, Brian, there are a couple pumps that are $3.12. I didn't say that every gas station is charging $3.79. No. These people are so stupid. What I said was that's the average price. It's like, for example, if you go in some really small town with a population of 200 people, you might find a gas station at $1.95 a gallon. But that doesn't mean that it's $1.95 across the country. Why is it so hard for these people to understand?
The other day at Cumberland Farms, I saw the gas at $2.94.
Right.
Here in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Going back and going back to the prescription drugs, I have a Medicare Advantage. I pay zero.
Well,
I pay zero.
Donald,
I don't pay nothing.
There are a lot of people that are on Medicaid, millions and millions of people across the country, my dear, and they could be losing their health care coverage. I don't want that to happen.
That's what I'm afraid of. I may lose all my benefits. Food stamps. They passed this ugly bill. They're cutting food stamps to a lot of people that can't afford groceries.
Yeah.
And what else?
It's insane. It's insane. And by the way, Kevin on the YouTube chat just said gas is only $1.95 a gallon at Jason Aldean's gas station. Kevin, that's very funny, by the way. But no, my dear, listen, it's insane. It's insane.
It's insane. And Bassett, I don't know if you heard Bassett saying they're going to privatize Social Security.
Yeah.
What the hell?
They want to take away Social Security benefits. They want to take away Medicaid. They want to take away your food stamps. My dear, I will always be on your side. I will always have your back. This can't happen. There are too many people that are going to lose their lives, up to 17 million people that can lose their Medicaid coverage. But MAGA idiots like Herb calling, Brian, my drugs went from $150 to zero. Maybe his cocaine dealer's giving him free drugs. That's what it sounds like to me. Maybe he was talking about his drug dealer on the street, because I can tell you right now, prescription drugs are not going down. Gas prices are not under $3 a gallon in the state of Nevada. He is a liar. On average, they're almost $4 a gallon, according to AAA. I don't make this stuff up. In fact, my producer fact-checked him literally within 20 seconds. Around the same time Donald Trump lasted with Stormy Daniels, might I add. 702-221-7283 is the number to call if you want to be a part of the conversation. Let's go to Tez. Tez is next up on PTL. Hey, Tez, what's going on?
No, it's a fun day. I can tell, just like so many others, man. Empirical facts are like GOP kryptonite.
You're right about that, my friend.
I want to remind those guys that, listen, the Inflation Reduction Act is what capped the Medicare cost of insulin. Not done under Trump. Guess who did it?
Yeah.
Uncle Joe.
Yeah.
Uncle Joe.
Yep.
And so the two companies that were involved, Sanofi and Novo Nordisk and Eli Lilly, they have other programs to keep some of the medication costs even lower. So maybe Herb, when he's not sitting on his IQ, might have applied. Somebody may have applied for additional discounts from the manufacturers.
Sure. That's possible. But here's the problem I have.
I want to bring up.
Yep, I got you. I got you, my friend. I got you on the line here. No rush. I just wanted to say this is one of the biggest issues I have among many with MAGA Republicans, and you can tell me whether you agree or not, which is many MAGA people, and by the way, I don't think Herb is telling the truth, but many MAGA people only see life through their own lens. Many people who happen to be white that are MAGA supporters don't know what it's like to be a brown person in this country. They don't know what it's like to seek asylum. They don't know what it's like to have to deal, some of them, with the medical issues that they have to deal with being on Medicaid. And some of them are so stupid they're on Medicaid and they voted for Trump. But that's my biggest problem with MAGA supporters. They don't see life through somebody else's lens because they're either too stupid or they don't have empathy for others, or maybe a little bit of both. Go ahead, sir.
No, I just want to point out, too, what's going on in Texas is a little scary. I hope all of the blue state governors want to take on some gerrymandering, and we can steal some seats on the normal side of the spectrum, too. Bravo to all those Texas people who flew out of the state rather than gerrymander their state so that brown people are not represented equally in that western state.
Yeah. Well said, my friend. I appreciate your phone call, Tez. Thank you so much. Good to hear from you. 702-221-7283. Let's go to Medic Mark. Mark, what's going on, man?
Hey, Brian. How are you? And good afternoon and happy Monday.
Happy Monday. What's
I
on your
want
mind?
to address, I was going to mention something way different, but I want to address her. But first I want to mention something to that lady Rose who just called.
Yeah.
She claimed that she was on Medicare Advantage, and she's on Medicare Advantage because the premiums look good to her. Zero. The prescription prices are zero. The hearing program is zero. But there's a lot of downsides to Medicare Advantage. You're not in original Medicare, and also you're in a for-profit company, whereas you cannot be treated outside of the state that you are living in. If you go to another state, you're not covered with Medicare Advantage. You have to be in network. Now, for Herb, I'm going to tell you, Brian, he is a liar, and I'll tell you why his prices did not go down. First of all, they didn't go down, but they wouldn't go down until January when the new contract for Medicare is signed. There are these prices and everything stays in effect for the calendar year.
But Mark,
I guarantee you 100% he's lying through his teeth.
Mark, it's even worse than that, because he claims that his diabetic medication, which is not insulin, has gone to zero. And then I try to explain to him that because Donald Trump signed an executive order on day one, Plan B and Plan D on most people's health care plan, they now do not have access to capping their insulin at $35, which means millions of people are spending more money on insulin. And Herb's response to that is, well, I don't know about that. I mean, it's just, you can't have a conversation because they don't know what they're talking about.
No, it's not that he don't know about that. It's because he doesn't care about anyone else but him. But I'm telling you, he's lying through his teeth. There's no way his medication went down from zero with original Medicare.
Agree.
No way in heck.
I agree. I think he's lying too, Mark, and I appreciate the call. It's like some idiot in Jason Aldeanville who just spent $1.95 for a gallon of gas, and then all of a sudden he says, oh, look, gas is down all over the country because I just spent $1.95. No, that makes you an imbecile, okay? Gas fluctuates the price throughout the country. I talk about the average price of gas. You imbeciles, you. By the way, thank you, Lisa Bledsoe, for your very generous donation. And Lisa agrees with me. She says, Herb is lying. I work in healthcare. Lisa, feel free to call in if you would like to share. And the other disgusted veteran says, blind allegiance is not loyalty. It's self-imposed slavery. I've been around Johnson. Never in my 59 years have I seen this level of insanity. If Palin and Bush have been normalized, then we're doomed. Yeah, you're right about that. Donald Trump actually makes George W. Bush seem like a normal president. It really is unbelievable. I completely agree with you. It is absolutely and positively insane. The times that we are living in today, ladies and gentlemen. Shelley, thank you for your donation. Shelley says, get Lieutenant Anthony Aguilar on your show. He's passing food in Gaza. A 10-year-old came, got his food, then the IDF started firing, and the child was killed on May the 28th. I'll look into that, Shelley. I absolutely will. That's a terrible story. I'm so sorry to hear that. 702-221-7283 is the number to call if you want to be a part of the conversation. Let's go to Brian. Brian is next up on PTL. Hey, Brian, what's going on, man?
What's up, man? How you doing, man? I was just sitting here, just laughing. I'm the one from Texas that Darlene has graciously allowed me to be a part, us brothers and sisters of killing MAGAs. And so I'm happy about that. But you already know who I am. But no, I was just listening here, just having a good laugh, listening to Herb speak itself. He just makes me embarrassed to be black. I'm telling you, he does. This dude has, he really does. I'm telling you, Brian, 90% of us.
Hey, Brian, I'm going to tell you.
Don't even think the same way. This guy,
all these white people,
all these Motiser.
Brian, I got some news for you. All these white people who still support Donald Trump, they make me embarrassed to be white. So you and me both, my friend. You and me both.
He's a Motiser. I came up with that term myself. He's a Motiser, and that's basically a euphemism for, those consensual men servants in the past.
Yes.
Motiser. That's what he is.
I just don't understand people like I don't understand how, like, Herb is the guy that goes to the gas station where he finds a gas station that's really cheap, so he automatically assumes that gas is down throughout the country. Can you really be that stupid?
I saw something in the chat. He can, not the rest of us, but I saw a comment in the chat, and this person was exactly right. He met his deductible.
All right, hold on.
That's why he didn't.
Hold on. Let's do some role playing here. Let's pretend that you're Herb. I know this is you're not.
Okay.
Let me be very clear.
Okay.
You're the opposite of Herb. Obviously, you're an educated man and you're on the right side of history. But let's have a little fun here. So Herb's calling in. Herb, tell me why you voted for Donald Trump.
Well, Brian, I don't like Kamala Harris because she's a woman.
Well, that sounds very misogynistic, sir. Why would you say that?
Well, because I'm from the old school, Brian. You know what I'm saying? I don't like her because she's a woman and she's black and she's Indian and she's more educated than my Lord and Savior Master.
Herb, all right, I get it, Herb. Herb, can you name me one policy you like under the Donald Trump administration?
Why, actually, yes, I can. I'm glad you asked that. I'm glad that he is fixing the southern border.
How's he fixing the southern border? What is he doing?
Because he's getting all these brown people out of here.
Oh, but wait, sir, I thought you were brown. Herb, aren't you brown?
He's not. I'm one of the good guys. He's not talking about me. I'm one of the good ones.
Okay, you can go back to normal now. That was actually, I have to give you credit, sir. That was a very, very good Herb impersonation. I'm very impressed with that. You did a very good job.
People like him are a dime a dozen, Brian. In all seriousness, he's one of he's in our community. Can I do, sir? You're okay. So now let's do the opposite. I'm going to play your typical white Donald Trump supporter, and now you're going to ask me questions. Can we do that? Sure.
Okay, go ahead. You're the interviewer now. I'm a white, middle-of-the-road Trump supporter. Go ahead.
Well, hey, listen, I'm just curious. What is it about Kamala Harris that you just found so despicable that you couldn't vote for her?
Oh, I got to tell you what. I got to tell you what, sir. I got to tell you what. I got to tell you right now, that cackle, I cannot deal with that cackle. That cackle is so bad. Me and my wife, we sit on outside of our mobile home porch every night, and we start singing, some of the, proud to be an American. And every single time we do that, we always make fun of Kamala Harris because I got to tell you, that laugh, I mean, she slept her way to the top. We all know she slept her way to the top. That Donald Trump, me and my wife, for her birthday, I bought her that Donald Trump Bible. Oh, my God. And the trading cards, man, does she love them. It's Donald Trump through and through, and he's making America great again. And I got to tell you, that's what that guy Donald Trump does. He's Superman in our eyes. He's our hero.
So, sir, if he called your wife a whore, or if he made sexual advances towards your wife, that or your daughter, that wouldn't deter you? That wouldn't turn you off at all?
Well, maybe not. Maybe not. It depends on the circumstance. Maybe not. But you know what? It could be AI. It could be AI, or you never know. It could be the deep state. It could be blame the deep state. It could be Joe Biden. I don't know. It could be Barack Hussein Obama. Boy, that Hussein Obama, he was a terrible president. But Donald Trump, he's making America great for all of us. I mean, everything's down. Gas prices are down to 35 cents a gallon. I just went a couple blocks down the street, 35 cents a gallon. All my drugs are at low cost. Even my drug dealer gave me free drugs the other day. All thanks to Donald Trump. It's all thanks to Donald Trump and his administration. Okay, I can't do it anymore, sir. I can't do it anymore. I just can't. That's the best I can do. That's the best I can do.
I swear to God, I'm not trying to hold your. I swear, I'm not trying to hold your phone line hostage. I know there's some people on here that are just be raring to go. I just wanted to say this though, and this has been a funny segment. I appreciate it.
All right.
But I just called to say this. And then I'm gonna hang up and I'm gonna listen to you like I always do.
Okay.
I live down here in Texas. You know, I live in Dallas. Jasmine Crockett is my congresswoman. The way you beat a gerrymander, to turn it into a dummy mander, is to get out and vote.
Yes, amen.
Did you know in this last gubernatorial election in Texas, 70% of eligible black voters and Hispanic voters did not vote?
Yeah, it's sick. So I'm with you, my friend. I appreciate your call, and I got to say I'm very impressed with your Herb impersonation. It was right on the money. Thank you for the call. That was a good one. 702-221-7283. Every single time he calls in, I'm going to ask him to be Herb. You know, we don't even need Herb to call in anymore. He could just play Herb on the telephone. It'd probably be less stressful for me, too. 702-221-7283. Let's go to Terry. Terry's next on PTL. What's up, Terry?
Good afternoon, Brian. Great comedy there. Now I'm going to school Herb a little bit here about Medicare because I'm on it. And Herb, if you can read, which I don't know if you've got above a sixth grade education, but if you read the information that comes with your Part D plan, you will clearly see that there's a deductible that you have to meet. Once you meet that deductible, the drug prices will either come down or you won't have to pay anything for them. And it's just so funny, Brian, because that's the same thing that happened with me. I had met my deductible, and so my prescriptions I don't have to pay for right now.
Do you know anybody? Do you know anybody? I'm sorry to interrupt you, my dear. Do you know anybody under Donald Trump that went from paying $100 to $200 for their medication to zero? Because I don't know one person because of Donald Trump's policy where that happened.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Herb is lying, or he just can't read.
Well, maybe it's both.
Probably.
Because a lot of these MAGA imbeciles never read the Constitution either, because last I checked it said any person has the right to due process, not any citizen. But they seem to not know the wording in the Constitution either. So I do think a lot of Trump supporters struggle to read. I would agree with you there. Is Floyd Mayweather a Trump supporter? I thought he was. I'm saying that because Floyd Mayweather doesn't know how to read. I'm sorry, my dear. I digress. I'm sorry.
Thanks for taking my
call,
right, Brian.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Have a good one. Floyd Mayweather doesn't know how to read. 702-221-7283 is the number to call if you want to be a part of the show. Let's go to Lisa. Lisa is next on PTL. Hey, Lisa, what's going on?
Hey, Brian. I love your show.
Thank you.
I've been listening since before the election, and it makes my day every day.
Thank you. That means a lot to me, Lisa. I really do appreciate that.
I even put myself on busy at work so I can listen to the show.
Oh, that's really nice of you. Don't let your boss know, though, okay?
Oh, no.
Okay, good.
I won't. But I'm the boss.
I don't want you to.
Okay.
I don't want you to get in trouble, okay? I don't want you to get in trouble. All right.
Okay. All right. Love you, Brian.
Yeah. Love you too.
Bye.
Is that it? Oh, okay. Well, geez. I'll take a phone call with some compliments. That's fine. The love is right back at you, my dear. I appreciate your comments. And if I could make your day a little better at my expense, I'm happy to do that. Kind of like my dating life and my love life at my expense. 702-221. No, that's not true. I actually went to a great Mexican restaurant on a date over the weekend. It was recommended by a friend of mine named Andrew, who you might have heard of before. He recommends really good restaurants. So I'm finally, I'm just going to have him recommend the restaurants I should go to. I'm not going to say the name of the restaurant because they're not paying me anything. But I will say the prices were very, very good. 702-221-7283, going back to the YouTube Super Chat before we take some more phone calls. Antonio says the only thing worse than a Herb is a Democrat that runs their mouth online virtue signaling but doesn't vote when it matters. Well, Antonio, that is a problem. I will certainly give you that. If you're extremely anti-Donald Trump and you run your mouth a lot and you didn't vote for Kamala Harris, then I would certainly agree with you. We got to get people out there to vote. There's no more waiting. There's no more excuses. Our democracy is on the line, certainly for the next 3.5 years, and we can't let this happen again. 702-221-7283. Let's go to Shelley's next. What's up, Shelley?
Hey, Brian. How are you?
Hey, good. What's on your mind?
And that Mexican restaurant was a very good restaurant, wasn't it?
What's that? Say that. Oh, what did she say? What about it? What about it?
I said it was a very good restaurant we went to, wasn't it?
That's funny. Well, Shelley, if that was the case, then you would not have paid for it. I would have paid for it.
Well, that's okay.
And I don't think you would have gone to the strip club afterwards. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't do
No,
that.
I
was a joke.
would have.
That was
Yeah.
a joke. That was a joke.
I would.
Although I wish she would have, but no, I'm just kidding. Go ahead, Shelley.
Oh, well.
What's on your
Okay.
mind today?
Well, that was epic. That dude playing Herb. I mean, you have to do that all the time. I absolutely have to do that all the time.
All right, so Shelley,
Yes.
let's do a little role playing here, since you know.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
Here
okay.
we go.
Let's do a little bit of role playing here.
Okay.
I want you to think of the most despicable and ignorant white person that lives in Alabama that has Trump decked out all over their mobile home. So let's say your name is, I don't know, what's a good name for a white person living in Alabama? What do you think? I'm trying to think of a good name.
I don't know.
All right, let's call you Marjorie. Let's call you Marjorie. All due respect.
Okay.
All due respect to the intelligent and nice people out there named Marjorie. I'm thinking of Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Okay. So Marjorie, thank you for joining the program. Tell me why you voted for Donald Trump.
Well, Brian, I just couldn't vote for that black woman that cackled all the time. She was just cackling.
Yeah, I know. She slept her way to the top too, right? Right, ma'am?
Yes,
right,
she
Marjorie?
did.
Yeah.
There was pictures of her
Yep.
and photos with other men.
Okay, but Marjorie, hold on. To play devil's advocate, what do you make of Donald Trump with all those pictures next to Jeffrey Epstein? What's your explanation to that?
Well, he was just his good friend.
Oh, that's it.
That's it.
Just a friend. So you don't think he's in the Epstein files then?
Absolutely not.
Marjorie, how many?
Trump would tell us.
Marjorie, be honest. How many teeth do you have? We're taking bets. The over/under is 2.5. How many teeth?
1.
I hit it. The under. My producer owes me $1. I bet the under. I hit it. Shelley, you're the best. Boy, I got to tell you, I didn't think that some of my listeners were so good at impersonations. My friend John DiDomenico, who does a great Donald Trump, would be very, very impressed. Shelley, thank you for calling in. I appreciate it.
Thank you, dear.
Yeah, and if anybody else wants to do an impersonation of your typical Donald Trump supporter, I am open ears to that. We got to have a little bit of fun on the show. 702-221-7283. Let's go to Dave. Dave is next up on PTL. What's up, Dave?
Hey, Brian. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
How you doing?
Good.
So here's the thing that the reason why Trump is the way he is. I got 2 points to make. So if you don't forget the second point.
Okay.
The first point, what I'm going to make is that he's doing everything he can. When something makes him look bad, he'll fire everybody, as long as he can use the Democrats as a shield. Even though bad things are going wrong and he knows it, he'll use the Democrats as a shield, just to hide behind them, just for his bull crap. Thirdly, he's doing everything he can with all the. Secondly, he's going after all the states, trying to gerrymander or whatever like this, because he knows the midterm is coming, and if he knows that 2/3, the majority of the Democrats takes the House and the Senate, they will impeach him, and he is scared that he's hoping that he doesn't get impeached during the midterm so he can finish off his scams for the next 3-4 years. So that's what he's doing. So basically, he knows that if we take the House and the Senate, and if we do that in the Democrat side, he knows he's going to get impeached.
Yeah.
That's what he's scared of. That's why he's doing what he's doing. If you just watch it and just sit there, think about it, it's like, okay, it does make sense. I can see why he's doing it. He's such an ass. He's a bastard. He's a crook.
Oh,
I mean,
he's a
just
horrible
scammer.
He's a horrible
He's
human
awful.
being. His entire life, he's scammed people. And, you know, I that's the case with a lot of him and a lot of his friends, his rich friends. But, you know, it's worse than that. It's worse than just a horrible person who scams people out of money their entire life, a snake oil salesman. He's also an adjudicated rapist, and I believe to be a pedophile. He's all over the Epstein files.
Yeah.
We know that there was sex trafficking going on at Mar-a-Lago, okay? We know that. And he's a sick human being. Only a sick human being would sexualize their daughter, talk about their body.
Surprised, Brian. I won't be surprised, Brian, that the money that the money that he gets from the tariffs, you know what I'm saying, that he's probably pocketing all that taxes and giving it to his friends. I bet you that's what he's doing.
I think everything he does only benefits him and his close friends. And I agree, my friend, 150%. And I appreciate your call. 702-221-7283. Let's go to John. John is next up on PTL. Hey, John, what's going on?
Hey, good morning from where America's Day begins, there, Mr. Shapiro.
Thank you for calling in, John. What's on your mind today?
Okay. Are you familiar with U.S. territories?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, Guam, American Samoa, Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands are all U.S. territories. The U.S. citizens that are occupying or living in those islands do not have the privilege to vote for voters.
Yeah, right. I got what you're saying. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, if you combine all the territories, we are second to the state of Texas in veterans per capita.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing is, we are not privileged to vote for voters and commander-in-chief. You know, and we have no say-so over the politics. And it just, we just feel that we're not recognized.
Well, I feel like that is part of the Trump playbook, is that they don't want to recognize people like you. They certainly don't want to recognize immigrants, whether legal or undocumented or whatever you would like to call them. They only want to recognize people that look like themselves. And it's why the Republican Party is represented by less than 1% of black people within the Republican Party. In America, 12 to 13% of the population is black. In the Republican Party, it's less than 1%, because they don't want black people representing them in the Republican Party, because so many in the Republican Party are racists, just like Donald Trump. Yes, I'm going to say it. Based on their policy, based on the things that they support, making it more difficult for people to be naturalized in this country, making it more difficult for people to become legal U.S. citizens. They have no problem with ICE agents outside of courtrooms tackling people and separating people from their families. This is the party of white supremacy, period.
Mm.
Good to hear from you, my friend. I'm going to move on to the next caller, but I appreciate you. Love it that my listeners are from all over the world, and I love you guys. Thank you so much. 702-221-7283 is the number to call if you want to be a part of the conversation. Miss Johnson is next up on PTL. Hello, Miss Johnson.
Hey, Brian, I love you so much. I'm sitting here laughing till I'm falling out my chair. And so when you say who wants to mock and pretend like they are a supporter of the orange man, let me do it. I want to be the woman that's pretending to like him.
So what should we call you? Let's think of a name first for you.
How
about Candace? How about let's call you Candace Owens II. Is that okay?
Okay,
all right.
That's fine.
Thank you for calling in, Candace Owens II. Why do you support Donald Trump? Why did you vote for Donald Trump?
Well, I started out in the beginning years ago because I think he's just the right person for us. I think he's just educated. He knows everything.
He is. He knows everything.
He knows everything about politics.
Mm-hmm.
He knows everything about everybody on this planet. And he wants to make America great again.
Can I ask you,
if
ma'am?
You understand?
Miss Owens, can I ask you, what is your race? What is your race?
I'm Caucasian.
You're Caucasian. Okay. What do you think about all the immigrants, undocumented immigrants that he's deporting, many of them nonviolent criminals? Are you okay with that, Miss Owens?
Well, I know that I believe that there was some 19 undocumented immigrants working for him at one time.
That's true. Yes, that's true.
He must be doing the right thing.
What do you think? Do you think he really wants to make America great again?
I think he knows what's best for this nation.
Would you ever sleep with Donald Trump?
Now you're going way too far, Brian. I probably would not.
Oh, why
He's
is that?
just not attractive to me.
He's not. Well, I mean, Melania
Not
Trump.
at all.
Melania Trump must disagree with you because she seems to love him very much. They seem very close.
I believe she was in on those files too. I believe that's
Oh,
probably why he doesn't want everybody to know everything.
Oh, okay. So you're you're okay with supporting Donald Trump even though he's in the Epstein files?
No, that's really bad. What?
So then why did you vote for him if you think it's bad?
Well, I thought he was educated at the time.
Well, you
and it
can be
seemed like
educated. You could be educated and be a pedophile, can't you? Has nothing to do with education.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can. But
Yeah.
I think he's such a disappointment. And then every day he runs his mouth too much.
Why do you keep saying
he's?
he's?
Understand?
But why do you keep saying he's educated? He won't. We won't see his transcripts. He won't release them. They wouldn't let him into Harvard. He won't show his Why do you keep saying he's educated? I don't understand that. What's his education?
Well, it seems like 2 times out of the week it sounds like he's educated.
Okay. All right. I give up. I can't do it anymore. It's too good. It's too funny. Miss Mitch Johnson, right? You did a very You did a very admirable job.
good?
You did a very admirable job. That was very, very good playing a very stupid Caucasian woman. You did a very good job.
Okay.
Yeah. And I want you to do it again tomorrow. You can call back again tomorrow, okay?
What time should I call in now?
Whenever I open. I can't give you the exact time. I don't know.
Okay, cool.
We'll
I'll be
play it,
watching.
We'll play it by ear. Thank you for the phone call. James Carr in the YouTube Super Chat says, I have a question. When Trump presidency is over, how long will it take to clean up his mess? James, I've been asked that question before. You're not going to like my answer. I think it's going to be decades. I think the damage that Donald Trump is doing and will continue to do to this country will last for decades. Just my personal opinion, but that'll have something to do with who wins the presidency in 2028. Might be able to expedite it. We'll see. Let's go to Mr. Lefty on the line. Mr. Lefty, what's up?
Brian, I am livid. How could they put a racist Nazi, Sydney Sweeney, in a jeans commercial? Do you know her initials are SS? Coincidence? I don't think so.
Are you being serious?
Yes. Why can't they have someone overweight?
Who cares?
And African. It's racist.
I can't tell whether you're
You
being
know it's
serious or
true.
you're just playing with me. I can't imagine you're being
CNN
serious.
had it on their thing. It's
Okay.
racist.
All right. So, Mr. Lefty.
Yes.
Who cares if somebody is skinny or fat in a jeans commercial? How does that affect you?
I hate it when they have these white, beautiful women.
Okay.
It's racist.
All right. You're obviously
Whites
joking.
are on the jean commercials. It's not right.
I don't think you're being serious, but you still didn't answer my question. How is it affecting you?
Oh, I can't sleep. I'm irritated at work.
You can't sleep
Why
because
does it have to be
you can't sleep because there's a
people
skinny
everywhere.
Are there white people everywhere? Really?
ESPN or not ESPN.
You must not
CNN
watch
has
the
been
NBA.
going on and on. It's terrible, Brian.
Why is it terrible? Why is it so terrible that you see so many minorities on TV? Why would that be? Wait.
No, it's because
it's
they
too
have
many white
whitey.
people. Oh, okay.
And her initial is SS. That's not a coincidence.
But you still haven't answered my question. You said you're struggling to sleep because of Sydney Sweeney doing a commercial, which I don't believe. But why would that bother you so much?
Because it's racist.
I got you.
It's all over the internet. It's racist. Why do they have white people in jeans? Why does she have good jeans? They say she has good jeans. Why is white people with blue eyes have good jeans? Why can't it be everybody?
I mean, it is everybody. Can't anybody walk into a store and buy any size pair of jeans they want? You could walk into a mall. And this is another thing I don't understand. Why don't you just turn the station? Why don't you turn the channel if you see a commercial that you don't like? We do have the freedom in America to turn off the radio. If you don't like me, you can change the channel.
Everywhere.
It is?
And they have the undertones of saying it's her jeans.
What do you mean it's
jeans.
everywhere? What do you mean it's everywhere? I watch TV all week and I didn't see
Brian,
one of the
I can't.
commercials.
Oh, if you go on X, people are in an uproar. With CNN, too. I'm with CNN. This is an outrage.
Yeah, be honest. Are you really a Republican? Be honest. Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me, Mr. Lefty. I think you're actually really a closet Republican Trump supporter mocking lefty Democrats.
I'll tell you one thing. I voted for Kamala. She is one of the great orators
Kamala,
of
though.
our generation. It's like
Kamala,
it's
though.
like poetry when she puts together.
Yeah, but can you say her name again? Say her name again one more time.
Kamala.
Okay,
Yeah.
I just want to make sure you pronounce her name right.
They said Obama's the great orator. I disagree. It's like listening to poetry in motion.
Okay, but hold on. Okay, maybe I'm wrong here. Okay, and I apologize if I'm wrong.
Okay.
Are you being absolutely serious that these Sydney Sweeney commercials bother you that much?
Racist.
Why? Why is it racist? Why?
Because they say it's in her genes, not the blue jeans. It's because she's white and she has great genes.
They didn't
It's
say that.
racist.
They didn't say that in the commercial.
But
they're
that's
saying
what
she has.
everyone says.
I mean, you could say somebody has great genes if they're black, if they're white, if they're purple. You might have a beautiful mother or a beautiful father or vice versa. That's not a racist statement. I don't think they've said anything racist to my knowledge, and I really don't care. I don't know why this bothers you so much. Doesn't it bother you? I can't tell whether you're being honest with me or not. I can't tell whether you're jerking my chain or not. Maybe you want to jerk my chain. I don't know. I can't tell.
Brian,
you're messing with me. You're messing with me. There is no way that this guy is being honest. There is absolutely no way that a Sydney Sweeney commercial could bother him that much. Impossible. That's fake outrage. I would say, okay, hold on. I'll say there's like a 1% chance he was being serious. He hung up the phone. I would say maybe 1%. 702-221-7283 is the number to call. Let's go to Ray. Ray is next up on PTL. Hello, Ray.
Hey, hello, Brian. A little information on this prescription drug that Herb was talking about, this deal. Now, I have traditional Medicare, and where I pay extra for the doctor's visits, and also.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Is that your doorbell? What is that noise in the background?
Oh, that's a clock.
Oh, it's a clock. Okay, that's very cool. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Now, I have a prescription drug plan, too, Part D. The way this is set up, that started January 1st of this year, you can look it up. But I've been on it for 25 years, and I read everything. Yeah. Once out of pocket and insurance companies reach $2,000, there is no charge for prescription drugs. But let's go to the but. Trump did not set this up. Biden did a year ago. It came out of the Biden administration. It was one of the good things that Front Row Joe did.
Yeah.
You know, you check it out yourself.
I will. I will check it out myself, sir, and I like the sound of your clock. By the way, we do have some breaking news. Remember I told you at the beginning of the show that Greg Abbott was threatening to arrest Texas Democrats for refusing to participate in a special session? Well, they have just passed that, and literally they're going to make civil arrests. There's going to be arrests that are going to be made. Speaker Burrows just announced that is going to be happening. So that's some breaking news. 702-221-7283 is the number to call. This is just getting to a level where I can't even begin to comprehend. All right, let's go to Jack. Jack is next on PTL. Hello, Jack.
Hey, Brian, how's it going, man? I'm from Rhode Island, like I told you about a week ago, and I asked you if this is the right time for working class, blue-collar workers to be challenging Democrats like Magaziner.
Yep, I remember.
And I'm just happy to let you know that I actually contacted the local election boards, and I'm getting the paperwork on when the deadlines are and when I need to have signatures in, and it feels really good. And I was wondering if you had any more advice on what I should be doing at this point to be ready for when I have to go out.
I think the best thing to do, and it takes a lot of work, but go door to door, man. Talk to people.
Start introducing myself.
Yeah, just start introducing yourself. I mean, listen, that's what AOC did. She talks about her days where she went door to door and just started introducing herself. She made a name for herself. Now, listen, I don't know if you have the skills that AOC has, but I think that's certainly a good thing to start with. She does have a beautiful smile, too. That doesn't hurt. But look, you don't have to be a great-looking person to win office. Marjorie Taylor Greene certainly proved to us that. So you never know, my friend.
Well,
I appreciate the call, my friend. Take my advice and then get back to me. 702-221-7283 is the number to call. Let's go to Leonard. Leonard is next up on PTL. Hey, Leonard, what's up?
Hey there, Brian. I figured to just call in and set you straight on some MAGA facts because you seem to be way off.
Uh-oh. What did I do? What did I do?
Well, wasn't it Trump that came up with the idea to lower the insulin costs? Wasn't his idea before Biden was even elected?
Well, yeah, it was my idea to go out on a date with, Kim Basinger back in the 90s, but that never worked out for me either. Just because it's your idea, it doesn't mean your ideas are working. And it was actually Joe Biden who implemented Plan B and Plan D.
That's irrelevant, Brian. That's irrelevant.
Oh, facts are irrelevant, Leonard. Is that what you're saying?
It was Trump's idea. You don't understand.
Leonard, where are you calling from, by the way?
I can't tell you my state because
All right.
Because I'm damn proud of what the state that I'm from, but I don't mention it.
Okay, well, was it Donald Trump's idea to be best friends with Jeffrey Epstein? Was that his idea?
He said he was best friend, but that don't make him a criminal. Yeah, they got depositions.
Does a 34 count felon make you convicted in a court of law? Make you a criminal?
Yeah, he was convicted, and he's a criminal, but I voted for him anyway.
Why? Why'd you vote for him? Tell me why.
He's the smartest person on the earth.
He's the smartest person on the earth. Then why wouldn't Harvard accept him? Why won't he show us his transcripts?
Well, he got a degree from Fordham University, I believe.
Why won't he?
Valuable one.
Why won't he show us his transcripts?
You don't need to see the transcripts, Brian. Don't you understand that man knows more than the generals?
He knows more than the generals. He dodged the military multiple times. Why would he know more than the generals?
Because he said he does. He knows more than the economist.
So if he says he does, that makes it true then. Is that what you're saying, Leonard? Leonard, how stupid are you? How stupid are you?
Not stupid is, stupid does.
Well, I mean, listen, I'm not going to quote, I'm not going to talk about the movie Forrest Gump because that was a brilliant movie. There's nothing brilliant about anything that you're saying, sir. Nothing.
And that other Leonard that you have on the show, he's just big phony.
You're talking about Leonard Cardinal, who comes in every Wednesday. Yeah, Leonard's going to be
a phony.
Yeah. Why is he a phony? What has he said that's a phony?
Because he mispronounced his name. His name is Leonard, not Leonard. I don't know where you got that.
Who's the woman who ran against Donald Trump? What's her name? I forgot her name. Drawing a blank.
Kamala Harris.
Why did you just do a Islamic voice? That was really strange. I don't know. That was strange.
I'm just copying Marva.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Well, Leonard, I appreciate the call, and maybe someday you could join us in studio on a Wednesday. 702-221-7283, the number to call if you want to be a part of the conversation. Let's go to Luck Dragon. Luck, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's up?
What's up?
All right, so I'm really confused because I have a medical marijuana card, right? And I just went to pick up my medication, and they gave me a check for $1,500. And I was going to call my best friend Herb and talk about it, but I've been listening to your radio station all for a while, and I'm just trying to figure out.
So, Luck, you're saying that you went to get your prescription drugs today, and they just gave you a $1,500 check?
And I don't understand the rebate.
Wow, what a rebate. So maybe Trump was being honest when he said 1,500% deduction.
Should I cash it, or should I call my best friend Herb? I'm trying to figure it out.
Boy, if that was the case, the drugstores would be open. They'd have to be open 24/7.
I almost called 911. I didn't know what was going on. I thought it was some kind of Ponzi scam.
Yeah, maybe that's interesting to me. So what are you going to do with the check? How are you going to use it?
Probably buy more weed.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Trump Bibles. More weed. I don't understand.
I already got me
Here's
2 or 3 of them.
Look.
I got me a couple of them. I'm good on the Trump Bibles.
Look, here's what's so ridiculous about this conversation. There are actually some Trump supporters that believe you. That's what makes this even more ridiculous.
Oh, well, then I'm sorry.
I guarantee you, because of you, after the radio, I'm not even joking. Because of you, there are going to be multiple Trump supporters that listen to this show that are actually going to be going to the pharmacy expecting to receive a $1,500 check. That's how stupid some of these people are.
All right, well, do me a favor, man.
Yeah.
Don't put this on, like, YouTube to get a million. Don't do it, Dan.
It's too late. It's too late. This is going to be put on YouTube. It's going to be on my Twitter page, and I'm going to label it
Honey,
Mom,
I just went viral.
MAGA Republican claims he received $1,500 check picking up prescription drugs. That's what I'm going to label it. We'll see if it can go viral. Okay, Lucky? Thank you for that information.
Oh, I forgot. My mom already left because she's going to get her.
She's getting her $1,500 check. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's whatever it is when you're stuck on heroin and then you're trying to get off. I forget the name of that
Yeah,
one.
I don't know the name of it either because I don't do heroin, but I do appreciate the phone call, Lucky. Good luck with that $1,500 check, just like the Doge checks we were going to get. Hey, did you guys get your $5,000 Doge checks? I'm just asking, you guys getting your checks? Let's go to Mathan. Mathan is next up on PTL. Hey, Mathan, what's going on?
Well, hi, Brian. This is actually Drusilla from Alabama.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And I just wanted to tell you that Donald J. Trump is Jesus Christ come down to earth. I even have one of his Bibles, and I have two teeth also. Sorry, I couldn't resist.
You guys are getting too good at this Trump impersonating a Trump supporter. You guys are getting way too good. It's because you guys listen to this show too much and you listen to these actual real idiots call in.
Yes, this is true. This is actually Nathan from California. I'm sorry, I just couldn't resist.
That's okay. That's okay. That's all right. You guys sound like your typical Trump supporter. That's what makes it so sad.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, you had me going there.
Donald J. Trump, I love him. He actually sent me that Bible.
Can you imagine, though, that people actually do talk like this? That's what makes it really scary.
I know,
there are people that actually do go to sleep at night with their guns and with their Trump Bibles and with their Trump blow-up dolls. They actually do. It's true.
Yeah, I do.
It's true. I think Herb does that when he goes to sleep at night. I do.
Yeah, I think he does.
Well, Nathan, thank you for your impersonation. You did another fine job. We've got some very good impersonators out there. Boy, it'd be great to have these Trump supporters call in when we have the real Donald Trump, also known as John D. Domenico, on the show. Let's go to Andrew. Andrew is next up on PTL, 702-221-7283. What's up, Andrew?
Hey, Andrew. How's it going?
My name's Brian, but that's okay. You're Andrew.
Yeah, so...
Okay. Thank you, Brian.
I spoke about this earlier about the whole recession and a Great Depression possibly looming. And I'll give a PSA announcement.
Okay.
I just lost my job like 2 days ago.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That does not make me happy.
Due to the fact that my boss basically told me that she couldn't afford me anymore. So she had to make cuts. And
sorry to hear that.
She didn't want to let me go, but it is what it is. And again, I'm a person on disability, so it is already hard for me to find a job now. And so now I have to go into this 20-hour work hour jobs, and there's not a lot out there right now. Everything is full time. Everything is full time.
And what did you do for work, sir? I'm sorry. What did you say you did for work?
Administrative work.
Administrative work. Well, listen, I'm sorry to hear that. Listen, the unemployment rate's going to continue to rise. Are you applying for unemployment benefits? Which, by the way, the Republicans want to abolish. But did you?
Well, unfortunately, for part-time workers like myself, I can't get them. Okay. So
what are you doing for money?
Luckily, I have my Social Security check right now.
Okay, well, thank God for that. At least. By the way, something else that MAGA Republicans want to get rid of.
And this is where a lot of people who are on MAGA need to wake up.
Yeah,
is that I'll give you a little tidbit of what's going on with me.
Yep.
Social Security, like I can work 20 hours a week. My Social Security would not. All my Medicaid, Medicare, as of right now, Social Security benefits won't be taken away from me as long as I stay under that umbrella, right? Here's the problem. Now you're going to go into state benefits. Those two don't collide with each other. They're two different languages, right? So I don't know if I'm going to lose my caregiving hours.
Right.
I don't know if I'm going to lose my my job consultant hours to where I can use a job advocate to make sure I don't get fired because of unlawful things.
Here's what's really sad about this, my friend. I'm up against the clock. Let me just say this. I'm very sorry what you're going through. My heart aches for you. I'm sorry you lost your job. I hope you get another job soon. MAGA Republicans would say, get off your ass and get another job. They have no empathy for people, but that's what, you have your Social Security check so you can get by for now. I know it's not enough. But you're going to be okay. Give us an update. Give us another call maybe next week. And hopefully we can, you can find some work. Let's go to Kathy. Kathy's next on PTL. What's up, Kathy?
Well, Brian, I lost this bet, so I have to let her talk.
Okay.
Hi, is it Brian?
Brian, not Brian, but yeah.
Okay, I'm Representative Nancy Mace. And I just wanted to say that I'm proud to say that I have just entered the race of South Carolina gubernatorial race.
Congratulations,
and I noticed
Nancy.
it when I was in my pajamas.
Nancy, may I ask you a question? It is so nice of you to call in because I've said a lot of nasty things about you. Is it true that your ex-husband cheated on you with a transgender woman? Is that true?
No, that is not true. That is a left-wing conspiracy.
It is. Okay.
He did not do that to me.
Why do you make fun of transgenders so much? Why do you care?
Well, Brian, I have to tell you off camera, but if you really want to know, I myself am transgendered.
I see.
Yeah.
Nancy.
They told me I had other legs, but
Nancy, what can you do for your state of South Carolina? Why are you running for governor?
Well, I'm running for governor because I am the female Trump. But South Carolina needs a governor who will drag the truth into the sunlight and flip the tables, if that's all what it takes.
All right. Well, listen, I appreciate the phone call. Thank you very much. Nancy Mace calling us, ladies and gentlemen. That was very kind of her. Boy, we have a lot of very famous people calling into the show today. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we have Representative John Kennedy. Would that be John Kennedy? Oh, Representative. Okay, I got you. Representative Kennedy. Go ahead, Representative Kennedy.
Hello, Brian. This is John Kennedy, Representative of Kentucky. And I'd like to ask you one question, Brian.
Yes, sir.
You keep talking about our President Donald Trump. Why do you hate America?
I hate rapists. I hate bad people.
Brian, let me ask you
Actually, I hate you.
question.
Actually, Mr. Kennedy, I think I hate you, actually. I hate you.
Why do you hate babies?
Who said I hate babies? That's really strange.
Well, you're killing them, aren't you?
I don't hate babies. I love babies.
Brian,
I think babies are great.
Let me ask you another question.
Please do, sir. Please do.
What would America be like without President Donald J. Trump?
Great. That would make America great again.
You know what else would make America great again?
You retiring and leaving office because you're a disgrace?
Me hanging up the phone. Goodbye, Brian.
Thank you, Mr. Kennedy. I appreciate the phone call. By the way, I really thought that was Representative Kennedy. It sounded just like him. Let's go to Jerry. Jerry is next up on PTL. Got 1 minute for Jerry. Go ahead, Jerry.
I called about the border.
Yes, sir.
I was listening to this guy the other day, and he was talking about how people who are satisfied where they are don't move.
Yeah.
And I wondered about, you got these people coming over at the border, ready to trying to get into America, right? So I assumed they didn't leave their country because they were rich to come here to make more money, right?
Sure.
I can assume that's not the reason.
Yes.
So the people who came here, I assume they came from other countries.
Yeah.
Right? South America, all these places.
Here's what I want you to do, my friend, because I hate to cut you off, but unfortunately the show is over in 1 minute. I want you to call back tomorrow, and then we can continue that conversation, which had obviously a lot to do with immigration. So I hate to cut you off there, sir. Want to go to the YouTube Super Chat. Deborah says, I wish I could send more, Brian, but today has made me laugh so much, and I needed this. Thank you. Love you. Well, Deborah, your support means a lot. We love you as well. Thank you all in the YouTube Super Chat. We're going to try to have a little bit more fun because the next 3.5 years are going to be rough. And while we talk about a lot of serious topics, we're going to get more guys like Robbie Roadsteamer on the show. No Money says, wow, Brian, I've never seen you so calm for so long. Great show today. I don't know. That's actually a good point. I have been fairly calm today on the show. I will be honest. Herb got my blood boiling a little bit there, but we have had a lot of fun. Do you guys like that? Do you like it a little bit more lighthearted? Obviously, we talk about a lot of serious topics on the show every day. Tomorrow, I don't know if it's going to be as lighthearted, but we do have Joe Walsh starting the show tomorrow, which is going to be a lot of fun. Wajahat Ali is scheduled to join the show. On Wednesday, we're working to try to get David Packman on the show. And yes, the guy that I told you about that was from the Jubilee debate, Richie Black, very controversial. He will join us on the show tomorrow as well. So we'll have some fun tomorrow. Check out the website, pushingthelimits.live. Again, the website is pushingthelimits.live, where you can make monthly donations. We appreciate you guys. We appreciate your support. Helps us keep the lights on here. Joe Walsh will be leading the way starting us tomorrow. Everybody have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.
Hey, everybody. Are you struggling to find a pizza place that reminds you of Brooklyn? That true blue New York style pie? Well, worry no more. Stallone